자, 이어서 2025 광주광역시교육청 국제교육포럼 두 번째 세션 시작하도록 하겠습니다. 세션 2는 수학 과학 교육의 융합적 접근을 주제로 발표와 토론으로 진행이 되는데요. 역시나 류지연 교수님께서 수고해 주시겠습니다.
네, 감사합니다. 두 번째 세션에서는 대만과 일본의 사례를 알아보는 것으로 이제 구성이 되었습니다. I'd like to start the session 2. The title of this session is for the interdisciplinary approaches in math and science education. And I would like to introduce the Dr. Kuan-Yi Lin from the National Taiwan Normal University from Taiwan. Please speak hands.
Thank you, Dr. Liu. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 안녕하세요. I'm honored to have the opportunity to share our experience in promoting STEM education in Taiwan. I will approach this from different perspectives, including policy, research, and practice, and hope that our experience will be helpful to you. And this is my introduction. And if you scan this QR code, you can download the article I have published, and including some menus on STEM activities for your reference. And I'm a professor in the Department of Technology Application and Human Research Development and the International Doctoral Program in Integrative STEM Education. We develop future technology teachers and future STEM professors. In addition to that, I'm also the Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs. So part of my job is try to promote AI technologies in teaching and learning. And we also promote interdisciplinary bachelor degree at our National Taiwan Normal University. So my presentation today will be divided into three parts. The first part will discuss strategies for cultivating interdisciplinary STEM talents in Taiwan. In our K-12 curriculum guidelines, there is currently limited content related to STEM education. I'm responsible for developing the curriculum guideline for the technology field. So at the high school level, we introduce some STEM concepts. Additionally, schools have the flexibility to develop their own elective courses. Therefore, when promoting STEM education, we hope that schools will be able to develop their own elective STEM courses. For example, the topic is related to the school environment of their community. So first of all, I would like to start with the New Taipei City. There are about 4 million people in New Taipei City, and it is the largest city in Taiwan. And since 2018, the New Taipei City Education Department has been promoting STEM teacher training. And they select an elementary school to establish the STEM Alliance and began implementing STEM education. So after discussing with the principal and the teachers in charge, we primarily planned a three-phase workshop. The first phase of the workshop includes an introduction to STEM education, STEM curriculum design, STEM assessment, design thinking, and inviting STEM teachers to share their practical experience. And for the second phase of the workshop is designed to offer a variety of activities in different categories. Teachers can choose the workshop activity that best matches their needs and interest. And for the third phase, focus on discussing how to conduct STEM assessment. So if the teachers complete all three phases of the workshop, the director of the education department will personally present them with certificates. And this is the promotional video from the New Taipei City Education Department about their implementation of STEM education. Please refer to it for more information.
新北 STEAM 好好玩，亲子放学去，你准备好了吗？
Let's go!
So they design a series of STEAM learning activity. As you can see, they invite parents and their children to join the STEM activity. So that's very important. The parents shouldn't just put their kids in the workshop and then they just go to have a cup of coffee. So they invite their parents to learn with their children. And for the next one is Taipei City. The Taipei City Education Department also established the new Technology and STEAM Education Office in 2024, aiming to promote the integration of new technologies and STEAM education. And this office is located in the high school, and during its grand opening, the principal introduced the related facilities to Mayor of Taipei and officials from the education department. And furthermore, I lead the teachers to develop this STEAM learning journal, which contains many contributions from principals and the teachers, and they share their experience in developing STEAM scenarios, arrange learning experience, and offer variable teaching advice in STEM or STEAM education. So this is the STEM teaching training map that I have designed for the STEAM office. As you can see, there are 4 stages of the training courses. And teachers who complete the different stage of the workshop will receive relevant certificates. And school can receive a grant of approximately $50,000 to support the promotion of STEAM education. In our study, when we interviewed with some STEM teaching teams, and they told me that the most important needs for them is the resources. So when I discussed with the leader of the education department, I just suggest them that they should provide some or more resources for the schools, and then they can design their own STEM or STEAM curriculum. And in the process of promoting STEM education, I often encounter some misconceptions. For example, when developing the earlier STEM education training courses, the original plan was to encourage one teacher to learn everything in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. However, I would like to extend these ideas by referencing the concept from Stanford, which emphasized the innovation is driven through collaboration. So when promoting STEM or STEAM education, we should emphasize collaboration among teachers rather than expecting one single teacher to possess expertise in all these different fields. And in addition to the local education department promoting STEM education, our Ministry of Education is also pushing a program focused on fostering female talents in the STEM field. And this initiative encourages universities to collaborate with industries to jointly cultivate STEM professionals. Furthermore, the program emphasizes the importance of university and high school collaboration. So the university professors will visit high schools and try to develop some micro course for them, or try to guide special project for their high school students, or organize some workshops for their students. So this is a very good collaboration and try to stimulate students' STEM learning interest. And take this university students project as an example. Once the university designs certain STEM-based project activities, this valuable experience can be shared with high school teachers and students to enrich their learning opportunities. However, the key lies in guiding high school students to think independently about how to solve problems, rather than just focus on producing a final product. So, in addition, due to the rise of the maker movement and the growing emphasis on STEM education, the Ministry of Education has invested significant fundings each year to promote technology and STEM education. The main focus is on developing teachers' professional instructional competency in STEM and implementing STEM-related curricula effectively. So we have 100 maker education and technology centers in junior high school across Taiwan. Each center is responsible for supporting nearby junior high school and elementary schools to ensure that both teachers and the students receive the necessary resources and assistance. Okay. So they spend a lot of money. So when I share our experience in the world in different countries, sometimes they will say that they admire our Ministry of Education can invest so much money in promoting STEM education. Yeah. And for this professional development activity, as you can see in this table, it shows the number of teacher training workshops conducted by the 100 technology centers between 2023 to 2024. So in summary, we have more than 8,000 workshops in just 1 year, okay? So, and more than 215,000 teachers and the students will join the workshop. And the most important thing during the workshop is that we hope that we can facilitate the collaboration and try to help them to build up the professional learning community. That's very important for us. And for this image and table, they shows the number of workshops held on various educational topics. For example, our Ministry of Education concerned about the emerging technology, for example, the AI, VR, AR. And we also concerned about the gender, digital learning, and the media literacy. So for the 100 technology centers, they need to hold some workshop and try to develop teachers' ability in implementing this educational topic. As for the AI, for the topic of AI has gained increasing attention. So we also analyzed the key focus and the directions emphasized by these 100 technology centers. Looking ahead, how AI can be integrated with STEM education is becoming a highly important issue. So as you can see here, we try to investigate the current situation. So the Gen AI experience and creation, usually used in drawing and applying to product design. That's in technology courses. And they try to use AI to assist in the application of teaching. For example, in my research team, we try to use AI to assess students' performance in the 3D drawing. Okay, so in the past, teachers need to spend much time to review students' homework. But right now, they just need to use AI tool to help them to review the students' 3D drawing, and they can very easily to get the grades and some suggestions. Yeah. And in addition to that, we also have many different national contests. We also organize various competitions to provide students with opportunity to showcase their abilities and exchange practical experience with students from other schools. So for this one, this is related to ICT. So the students build the model, and that is about the public transportation. And for the next one is about technology education. We design a variety of scenario-based problems to give students the opportunity to apply their STEM knowledge and skills to solve real-world challenges. These students are also required to build their solutions on site. As you can see, students are testing their creations, and in the end, the competition results are determined based on the scores they achieve. And for the senior high school level, and all students primarily participate in the first robotic competition, that is FRC. Currently, there are more than 30 FRC teams across Taiwan. And our students can also use their experience and achievements from participating in the competition to support their application to top university. So if you want to apply for top university, it is not necessary to get a very high score. You can also try to attend some worldwide competition and then use your performance to apply the top university. For our National Taiwan Memorial University, we also recruit some outstanding students in this part. And for the section 2, I would like to share some of my experience and the findings in the field of STEM, as well as discuss the important implications these results have for the STEM teachers. And for the first one is professional development pattern. As I just mentioned that we have many STEM workshops, okay? So our STEM research team tried to conduct a sample survey targeting in STEM teachers across Taiwan to better understand their patterns of professional development and training participation. So I just grabbed one of the research questions and try to show you the result here. And for the first one, it shows the professional development patterns of elementary school teachers. So as you can see, the orange line, 84% of teachers focus on attending hands-on workshop, while only 60% participate in more diverse training sessions that include STEM-related knowledge, instructional strategy, assessment method, and more. So it is not good for the teachers if they only focus on the hands-on activity. We hope that they can attend diverse workshops instead of just focus on hands-on activity. And for the second one, the next one is the professional development patterns of junior and the senior high school teachers. And as you can see here, there are 66% of teachers focus on attending hands-on workshop, while only 9% participate in more diverse training sessions. However, according to another study we have conducted, attending only hands-on workshops does not effectively enhance teachers' feedback. To truly support STEM teachers, hands-on workshop needs to be connected with STEM subject contents and the pedagogical strategy. Okay. And in order to gain deeper insights into how effective STEM teaching teams operate, our research team spent 8 months conducting interviews with 2 different schools. Here I just pick one of the junior high school as an example to explain our findings. And I invite you to reflect on what implication this insight might have for your own context. Okay. So as you can see here, that in this junior high school, they have very important STEM teaching experience since 2018. So in each year, and they pick up one topic. For example, in 2018, they choose cool down. They asked their students to redesign the fence. Or in 2022, the topic is water conservation. And although the topic is the same, but when the students try to contextualize the topic or try to clarify in the questions, and they will find different important problems. So when they try to conduct the project, usually they will have different results. So this image shows students presenting their STEM project outcomes during a school-wide exhibition. They are required to introduce their work to all teachers and the students in the school. And for the STEM education model, to compare the operational, the practical model of effective STEM teaching teams with existing theoretical framework, we primarily use this PADPI instructional design model as our reference. And this model was collaboratively developed by experts from different countries and various disciplines. Based on this model, we also create a checklist to help teachers reflect on whether they have complete all the key components when developing STEM activity. So if you are interested in the model and the checklist, you can let me know. I can show you the checklist. Sorry. So in this flowchart, it illustrates the STEM curriculum development model, the practical model of the junior high schools we have studied, and all the arrows shown are based on our interview findings. However, this does not imply that this is a very ideal model. And next, I will also introduce some of the challenges they have faced, which may serve as useful reference points for those of you planning to develop STEM curricula in the future. So for the challenge part, I just pick up some steps and to introduce. So if you are interested in learning more details, you can refer to our article and published in the International Journal of STEM Education. So I just pick up three important steps here. For the first one is preparation. And because the STEM teaching teams are coming from different subject matter, so the most important problem is that they are lacking of common meeting times. So it is hard for them to find a common meeting times, and it is also hard for them to collaborate with each other. So if you check the PAD-PID model, and when we develop the model, we think that the first important step is try to organize the STEM teaching teams. If you reflect this part, you understand that if you want to organize a STEM teaching teams in your school, and usually that would be very difficult for you to find some different teachers to join the team. Okay. And for the second one is that if you want to invite different teachers to join the team, and sometimes they are unfamiliar with the structure of your STEM curricula. So sometimes they are afraid that they will have more responsibility if they join the team. So they just focus on their teaching instead of try to join your STEM teaching team. So that's the preparation stage. And for the next one is the implementation stage. So in this school, they think that it is very important for the teachers to open their classroom. So many teachers in different subject matters, they will visit your teaching, they will attend your class. And for some teachers, they don't want to open their classroom. Yeah. But for this school, they think that it is very important because when they join your class and they will understand it, what are you teaching, why you interact with your students. But for some teachers, they don't want to do that. And the other difficulty is that for some team teachers, they might have some personal reasons, so they try to apply different schools. But they are in charge of some very important tasks. So if the teachers leave to the different schools, part of the curriculum will be difficult to implement. This is also very important in the implementation stage. And for the assessment and the other part, and as you can see here, many teachers still unsure how to assess students' higher order thinking skill. When we interview with these school teachers, they always told me that everyone told us that we are doing very well, but we don't know how to develop a series of different STEM curriculum because we don't know how to improve our STEM curriculum. And we don't know students' performance in our STEM curriculum. Okay, so they are unsure how to assess their students' performance in their STEM curriculum. And for the other one is that they have very heavy workload, for the co-teacher. So when we try to interview with the teacher, we also try to explore the possible role in the STEM teaching team. So there are 3 different roles in the STEM teaching team. The first one is the leader. So the leader is very important. And the second one is the co-teacher. The reason to have the co-teacher is that in the STEM teaching team, they might have 20 or 30 teachers. So it is hard for them to discuss with each other and then try to make decisions or try to develop the structure of their STEM curriculum. So they usually find 3 to 4 co-teachers to discuss with each other and then try to develop a structure. So for the co-structure, they think that they have very heavy working load. So sometimes they will try to quit the STEM teaching teams. Okay. And for the next one, I would like to introduce some misconceptions. In addition to understand how STEM teaching teams operate, I would also like to address another common misconceptions. Some teachers believe that students should engage in a large number of different hands-on activities in order to foster interest in STEM career. But based on our STEM research, result, we find out that it is very important to let our students learn deeply than just doing a lot of hands-on activity. Because when we interview with the students, if they just focus on hands-on activity, usually they don't think about how to solve the problem. They just propose the solution by their intuition instead of applying the STEM knowledge or skills. So let me give you an example. In our study, we select one senior high school, and we have more than 10 classes of students, and we allowing them to choose freely. Students who prefer doing many activities were assigned to complete 3 different projects over the course of a semester. But the other students were assigned to work on just one project, but with a focus on repetitive modeling. We encourage continuous reflection and revision throughout the process. Okay, that's the very big difference. So, since Taiwan experienced frequent earthquake, so we designed this scenario by asking students to develop best isolation device. Students use 3D printer to create models and test the feasibility of their designs. So as you can see Okay, let's just they test their model, but in the final label, we will have a machine to test it. And for this case, and they find out some difficulties when they put the model into the formal machine. So the students who engage in repetitive modeling were able to explore STEM fields more deeply. In the end, we found that these students show greater improvement in their career interest, particularly in the field of technology and engineering. But for most STEM teachers, at least in Taiwan, they believe that we should teach or we should arrange a lot of hands-on activities for our students. But actually, based on our exploration, we think that we don't have to do that. We just need to focus on one project and try to have interaction with the students, try to ask them to reflect deeply. That's the most important thing. And For the next one is STEM assessment. So for this example, I would like to emphasize the importance of STEM assessment. According to the research by Gao and so on, and what is currently most lacking is effective assessment of interdisciplinary STEM competencies. So in Taiwan, many teachers are also unsure how to assess these interdisciplinary skills. So our research team at National Taiwan Normal University has focused on developing an assessment tools specifically for evaluating students' interdisciplinary problem-solving abilities in STEM, aiming to highlight the true value of STEM education. So as you can see here, if you scan the QR code, and you can access to the systems, and both the username and the password are NTNU 0706. And if you encounter any issues when you try to log in, you can let me know. And if you want to let your students try it, and I can also set up some account for you. Okay, so this is the system. And for the contest, and this is the scenario for one of the assessment module. Students are required to read a new article or watch a video, and then they need to respond to a series of related questions. So we will provide them different information. So they have to contextualize the scenarios and try to find out the real problems. After they finished all the questions, and the system will automatically generate this visual report, and it allows students to see their performance across the 5 dimensions of interdisciplinary problem solving and identify areas where improvement is needed. So you can try it, in this radar chart. And for these students, and he didn't have good performance in quantitative thinking. So in the next STEM activity, the teachers should discuss with the students and try to let him know how does he need to improve his performance in this part. Okay, for the section 3, I would like to introduce how to design meaningful STEM learning experience for students, especially how we can intentionally incorporate experience of failure to encourage deeper learning. So I believe that one of the key goals of the STEM education is to design diverse learning experience that allow our students to explore across disciplines, discover their own strengths, and develop their interdisciplinary competency. So I like this sentence very much, and if you give your students enough time, they will certainly impress you at some point. And for this STEM activity is called moving pictures. Students are required to design their own character and movement, and then use a mechanical design principle to make the character move. So that's very interesting. So they will design different characters in the class. And for the next one, I think that this is very important when designing STEM learning experience. I believe that it is important to intentionally include opportunity for failure. In Taiwan, many students are afraid of failing. They don't like to spend time experimenting and often prefer to ask their teachers directly, is my design okay, or is there anything I need to change? However, I believe this image conveys an important message. Students should experience failure before achieving a success. And this process not only helps build their confidence, but also greatly enhance their interdisciplinary learning. So this is a glider activity. I used it as an example to explain how we intentionally design experience of failure and guide students to learn and grow through the process. And as you can see here, it's a standard model airfoil. By using this model, students can observe how an airplane wing behaves in the air. So it's stable, okay? And for the next one, some students come up with many creative ideas. For example, for some students, they ask me, can I design a triangular wing? And I always encourage them to give it a try. And through actual simulation, they can explore the potential issues with their ideas. As you can see, the triangular wing tends to be very unstable while floating in the air, promoting students to reflect and make adjustments on their own. Okay, so they don't have to afraid about the failure. They can try it. And for this scientific model test, and to help students better understand the effect of wing design, a science teacher came up with this method, and students use sponge to create wing models and place them on an electronic scale. When a fan is turning on, and they can observe the reduction in weight on the scale. This allows students to determine which wing design generates the most lift and is therefore the most effective. So for the final section, based on the 3 sections I've introduced, I would like to conclude by summarizing a few key takeaways. Okay. So the most important one is that the purpose of making change is to cultivate more STEM innovative talent. Many school teachers told me that I have a heavy load, I don't want to change. Why do I need to change? Okay. So I always told them that we do this not for ourselves, but for our country, for our future. So it's very important for us to develop or cultivate more STEM innovative talent. And only by finding the right direction can we continue to accumulate and doing things well. So we cannot do it by ourselves. We need to do this collaboratively. So collaboration is the most important thing in promoting STEM education. And keep working on developing sustainable assessment tools in evaluating students' STEM interdisciplinary problem-solving skill is also very important. And if we still have time in the Q&A section, I will explain this more, okay? Because time is almost up, okay? Thank you so much. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you so much, and I think contextualization and meaningful failure experience could be one of the key words of his presentation. Well, we'd like to invite the next presenter, Dr. Takuya Matsura from Hiroshima University, Japan, and also his presentation topic was about the liberating achievement and aspiration, advancing STEM education through the collaborative curriculum development. Please, a big hands for his presentation.
안녕하십니까? 광주광역시교육청 여러분 반갑습니다. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Takuya Matsura from Hiroshima University in Japan. So Hiroshima is the west side of the Japan. West side. Probably so well-known World Heritage is Miyajima or Peace Memorial Park, and so on. I have short my introduction. So I'm a teacher at the education school of education, and many of my students will become high school or senior high school science teachers, and some of them to get a PhD and so on. At first, so I just checked the well-known, the international survey, the teams. Sorry, just only include the Asian countries. I missed to include Australia, US. Left side, result of the this scores the science. Left side is grade 4, and the right side is grade 8. And Japan is red line, Taiwan is a green line, and Korea is a purple line, and Singapore is a blue one. So traditionally, past of days, Singapore score of the Singapore still remain high. This is a historical, but still remaining. And oppositely, so the average score of these tests around 500. So these Asian countries still remain the high scores. Of course, a little bit to change, but still keeping the high score. In this case, just only show the teams, but PISA assessment situation is samely. This is our real situation. But of course, we have some problem or challenge and so on. By the way, so this means, what do you think? Of course, you have on that. So this is one of my question. And only 50.8 students say yes. That question is, so have you ever heard the term STEM education? This result come from this year. This case, so responses were collected from 76 university students studying to obtain teaching license for science in junior and senior high school. That include College of Education, not only the College of Education, but also include the College of Science or College of Applied Science and so on. So this is a student size real situation in Japan. Of course, in our side, so researcher or teacher, probably so we were known or we were heard, sometimes we heard the keyword STEM. But in the student level, they don't. What is their understanding or image? The image of STEM education among those who answered say yes. One of them only know the words. I just heard STEM, but I don't know the detail. Or acquire logical thinking skill. A little bit good, I think. Or acquire scientific and or logical thinking skill. Or improve scientific literacy. Or science-related subjects are integrated across the boundaries to individual subjects. Or finally, so for example, the workforce development in science-related fields. These are the image of STEM education. Do you have some image? The keyword of STEM education. Oh, I mistake. I cannot start the timer. And continue to change the topic. This graph shows a trend of number and budget of STEM or STEAM studies in Japan. Blue bar is meaning the number of studies that get the budget that related to STEM or STEAM studies. And yellow line, that means the budget. So I can find this keyword only one at 2005, just only one. And then 10 takes some years. So 2011 to 2014, a little bit 2 or 5 number of studies. But please show the 2015. So the number of studies become more increasing suddenly about 10 years ago. And so that means for researcher side, we try to focus to the terms of STEM or STEAM in the researcher level. So we try to study to how to understand or how to approach or how to apply in the many fields, not only the education area. And then, so the next slide shows the meaning of STEM or STEAM at the national level in Japan. Because why so like this? So in researcher level, so we'll try to use this keyword around 2010. But in the government level, so the first step of the explain the meaning of the STEM or STEAM education is we need to wait till the 2016. So the 2016 Central Council for Education report included example of STEM education, such as incorporating programming into science, math, and integrated studies. But that's all. There are no detailed explanation. So, of course, I can read this text, but what is STEM? Well, what is STEM education? This is unclear for us. Now, after 2 years, in the 2018, makes me the Minister of Education, makes task force in Japan on workforce development for the new era pointed out that in senior high school education, all students need to learn STEAM, change from STEM to STEAM. But there are no detailed explanation. Learn STEAM as a basis for thinking. So point to a little bit change or image or explanation is slightly more concrete, but not so clear. However, so this report only refers to the meaning of STEAM as science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics, and does not discuss how these subjects and areas are related. This is a real situation in Japan, just only 7 years ago. And then situation a little bit changing in the 2021. So as for the meaning of A in STEAM, the report of the Central Council for Education report in January, it is important to focus on the aspect of STEAM education that aim to develop the abilities necessary for citizens to live in a modern society, where various fields of STEAM are intricately related. So the meaning of STEM or STEAM a little bit changing more wider to the meaning. So it is important to define and promote A of STEAM, not only the art and culture, but also in a broader scope like liberal arts, including life, economy, law, politics, ethics, and so on. So after this report, so in Japanese official level, basically we use term STEAM. And what is STEAM? STEAM that includes the liberal arts area, not only the science, math, technology, and so on. So, of course, we can understand the meaning. But how to treat, or how to teach, or how to conduct very complex situation in the school level or teacher level. But situations are a little bit changing. So the official level, so Japanese government tried to explain or spread to the understanding or using the STEM teaching. So there are some official portal sites that introduce the example and teaching materials for STEM education. For example, the left side, STEM library organized from the 2021, or like this, this size, they call science team, science plus team, so science team. So this site just started at last year, very new one. So you can find some examples in the elementary school or junior high school or senior high school experience with teaching materials or worksheets, or sometimes we can get to the lesson plan. This is an official stage and situation of how to treat the term STEAM. And I try to change the next aspect about the curriculum. This is the present status of the Japanese curriculum that related to STEM-related subject in Japan. So probably so similar to the framework in the Korean education system. So 6 years elementary, 3 years junior high school, and 3 years senior high school. In Japanese case, so just now we start to learn science from the grade 3. And of course, arithmetic or math is learned from the grade 1. And only grade 1 and grade 2, we just prepared for them. The subject name is Living Environment Studies. That means combined to the science and social studies. Past days, of course, we have science and social study in grade 1, grade 2, but nowadays, so we try to combine 2 subjects in only grade 1 and 2. And last side, one more is technology, subject name of technology. In technology area in Japan, so not so clear framework, just only teaching at the junior high school level, and not so big volume. So probably so this point is will become more something of a problem near future, I think. And last one, the right side, so integrated studies. Of course, this is a general name, so not only the specific name. So we teach the integrated studies from grade 3 to senior high school. So next slide. So I checked some historical change to follow the lesson time. And this numbers meaning the lesson times per year. So this was about 50 years ago, a little bit old history, but this area. So my curriculum is near here. So I learned science from the grade 1. But in this era, so you can follow the number of the lessons. So, for example, the arithmetic, not so big change. Science, in 1977, many reduce, a little bit increase, and so on. So, in the math situation, math is one of the core subjects in Japan. So basically, we don't reduce the time. But we show the 1998. In this era, many of subjects reducing the lesson time. Of course, that have meaning, because why? We try to include integrated studies in our curriculum. So we need to make a lesson time for the integrated studies, because why the time framework is limited. So and similarly in that era, so we will try to change the school days. Nowadays, basically, the school days are 5 years per week. But past days, we have 5 days and half day per week in my childhood. So we try to make prepare the time to the integrated studies, so we need to reduce the each subject lesson time. And similarly, we try to reduce the knowledge that conclude treat in each lessons. After the changing, there are many problems. In the newsletters or TV shows, before this changing, Japanese people or students still remaining overload or overworkload, overstudied, and so on. So we need to reduce the contents or working time and so on. Then after the changing, newspapers or TV shows just saying changing. That is afraid to decreasing our knowledge level. Wow, what do they want our system? But we struggle to change or become more modernized to the curriculum. And after the 2008, so we are searching the touching point. So these are now real situation. We try to reduce the time to integrate study, but still remain some volume. And in science case, the lesson time has become more, so we are happy now. And next slide, I try to focus the integrate subject areas. At first, I told you now, so I try to combine the science and social studies to the living environment studies at first. This is the first step. And second step is we will conduct the integral studies to the all grade, from the grade 3 to grade 12. And now the last one is the newest one, the present situations. So we try to more active in the, especially in the high school level. So the name is changing. In the high school levels, senior high school level, or inquiry-based cross-disciplinary studies, just changing. And I showed yellow line. So yellow line is required. Required means all schools need to follow this framework all over the country. And a little bit difference in the black line, so in the newest one. So we make a new subject, science and mathematics area. Not only science, but also math. We combine, but active, a new subject just now created in this curriculum. Of course, but there are something to challenge that relate to the teaching level, school level. Because why? So this red line area, we don't have textbook to teach or to learn the integrated studies. How to teach? That means teacher need to create or prepare their own original creative curricula in each school. Basically, so for example, for following the result teams and so on, so probably the Japanese school teacher have high-level skills to teach. So probably they can make it easily. This is a general image. But my image is different. It is difficult to create their own curriculum in each school. But so this is a basic present situation in Japan. Basically, so this is the official image of the official position of the STEAM education in Japan. So Japan, we have integrated studies lesson time. And now we need to treat the STEM or STEAM, how to treat it in the school level. This is one of the solutions. So Japan has implemented the integrated learning framework for over 20 years, and STEM education is also being incorporated into it. Basically, so the integrated studies is not same with the STEM or STEAM, but before come to the school, the STEM, so we have this framework. So we try to negotiate or combine the two purposes. Okay, so next step, so what is the challenge? In the period for the integrated studies, each school is required to develop original and creative educational activities that I said now, so such as cross-disciplinary and integrated. However, the following challenges are also frequently observed. Of course, so this is my personal image. So some person say not aspect, but this is my image to the real situation. First one, the curriculum is about the skills it aims to develop. Second one, insufficient activities that encourage students to organize and analyze their own thoughts. And third one is large disparities exist between schools in terms of curriculum and teaching ability. Officially, so the period for integrated studies well worked. But in the real school situation, there are many problems, I think, that relate to how to prepare the curriculum. And the other aspect, student attitude towards science. Probably so this situation is similar in the Korean and or East Asian countries. Score is high, but attitude or motivation is low. It's still similar in the Asian countries. This graph shows the blue line is grade 8 and the yellow line is grade 4. So traditionally in Japanese case, grade 4, the attitude towards science in grade 4 is not so low or similar to the international average. But when they become a junior high school student, this percentage go down. So about 20 points, around 20 points lower than the international average. This is a traditional problem in Japan. So we try to change this situation. So this trend from 2003 to 2023, so a little bit changed to more better, about around 10 points to become more better, but still remaining differ from the international average. And more big problem is this one. So this question is, I would like a job that involves using science. This is a positive response ratio. So the dot line means the international average, and blue line the Japanese result. About 25 or 30 points difference. So this is a very big problem. Probably similar in Korea. Situation is a little bit similar. So left side, a little bit more change, more better. So it is happy for us. But right side, not so good for us. Because why? So Japan need to more scientists or engineer and so on to keep our country's situation. But they don't become a scientist or engineer and so on. We need to try to change this challenge. And more, these are gender points. So left side, I need to do well in science to get into the university of my choice. On right side, the question is, I would like a job that involves using science. So blue line is boys and red line is girls. So they are still remaining differ about around 10 points or 15 points differ. Of course, the lower, girls are lower than boys. So probably so this point is related to the some aspect, social aspects or cultural aspect and so on. So it is difficult to change this situation. But in the Japanese case, so population is now reducing. So we need to make more, we need to develop more workforce people. So we need to try to change this situation. This is another aspect of the challenge. This is a real situation in Japan. So what can we do to against this problem, our challenges? Of course, we try to the many level, many aspects of try to change this situation. At first, of course, in the national level initiative. So, for example, in the course of study for junior high school, that revised in 2008 and 2070 have aimed to link science learning to future career choices by stating in science instruction that students should be exposed to that fact that what they learn in science is related to various careers. Of course, that's true. The other aspects that focus for girls that named Ricocciare. It is difficult to translate, but science is in Japan, so Rika, subject name is Rika, so that Riko is that relate to the subject name. So encourage the female junior and senior high school students as well as female university students to take an interest in science and engineering fields, help them envision their future selves and make career choices, and so on. This is a national level. Or the other aspect, we have a we named Super Science High School. What is super? It is difficult. Starting from the 2002, so the senior high school schools that were selected will develop the curricula that emphasize science and mathematics. They will also implement advanced science and mathematics education through collaboration with university and other institutions. Number of schools is changing, but nowadays probably around 30 schools all over the country. Or official portal sites that introduce example and teaching materials for STEAM education. I already explained, showed the website. This is a national level initiatives. And the other aspect, initiatives at the university and industrial level. For example, this is one of the example or Institute of Industrial Science that is located in the University of Tokyo. This office aims to create a new model for educational and outreach activities that will nurture the next generation of researchers and engineers through collaboration between industry and academia. So they prepared some example to collaboration. Okay, so finally, my personal most important point is this level, cooperative initiative at the specific level. It is important for school teachers to be able to develop their own STEAM education curricula. Of course, some example created by the others, of course, this is important or useful. But finally, so it is important to understand the meaning of the curriculum of the STEAM by teacher own. So the effectiveness of the collaboration strategy between researchers of subject pedagogy and school teachers. So this means in Japanese case, we have a school culture of lesson study. Do you ever know the lesson study? So this is a traditional style to improve the science, not only the science, but also the every subject to improve their own. At first, preparing some lessons or make a lesson plan and observe with the other teachers. Then after finishing the lessons, we will have a discussion on how to improve or more better about this lesson and so on. So this is a basic but very important or fundamental aspect, I think. So in this case, for example, the planning and procedure, so one, so selecting topics plus specifying the skills to be developed. And second, so curriculum design. Third one, specifying teaching methods. Last one, confirm the consistency from step 1 to 3. So, oops. This meaning, so their own, I hope to create their own curriculum to, for example, STEM, or not only a STEM, so the integrated studies. Of course, in each subject, science or math and so on, we have well-developed textbooks. But in the integrated level, we don't have. So we try to more concrete or more specified in each school situation. So in this point, probably we can collaborate. We need my side, university educator side and school teacher side. We can collaborate at how to create or how to improve the curriculum. So this is my personal, but my main opinion in this slide. Okay, thank you for your attention.
Thank you for the presentation. We'd like to start for the second panel discussion. So the presenters and discussant, please go up to the stage, please. 이번에도 저희가 두 번째 세션을 진행할 예정입니다. 그런데 저희가 역시 이번에도 두 분의 선생님을 모시고 토론자로서 모시고 진행을 하려고 했는데 한 선생님께서 김홍기 선생님께서 조금 건강상의 문제가 생겨서 한 분만 송명희 선생님, 하늘초등학교 송명희 선생님만 토론자로 참여를 하게 된다는 점 양해해 주시고, 그래서 토론 시간을 원래 저희가 20분 할애를 해놨으나 10분 정도로 줄여서 진행하도록 하겠습니다. I'd like to introduce the moderator of this second panel discussion is the In-gi Kim. Also, he's a professor at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, the USA, and the two speakers and one discussant. Please go on.
Thank you very much. Since the time is short, so without further ado, I'm gonna just go ahead and start the moderation. So we have incumbent teacher, Mrs. Song. So I believe that Ms. Song should have some questions. You know, I understand. So maybe Ms. Song, could you just start with questions to Dr. Lin? The first question is to Dr. Lin, please.
네, 교육 사례에서 공유해 주신 글라이더 설계 그리고 종이 에어포일 제작을 통해서 실패 경험 기반 학습에 대해서 좀 더 상세하게 설명을 해 주실 수 있을지, 이런 실패 경험을 극복한다면 학생들이 더 강건한 학습 태도를 가지고 스팀에 대해서 자신감을 가지고 임할 수 있을 것 같습니다. 이렇게 대만에서도 하려고 하는 이 스팀의 최종 목표는 무엇인지 그것이 궁금합니다.
Thank you, Ms. Song, for your valuable question. And for the failure experience, I think that let's base on our research because in the past, we just asked our students to follow maybe the problem-solving process or design thinking process to design and make some products to solve the problems. But during the process, our students usually use their intuition to design the solution instead of apply their STEM knowledge or skill. So when we search the literature and we find out that some researchers try to design the failure experience. So for the airfoil, and I think that's a very simple example because students can use the sponge. In the past, we will use some balsa. That's a very expensive material. So students don't want to try to use the material to design a glider. But right now, if you can choose some sponge or other cheap material, and the students will have more chance to try their design ideas. I think that's very important. Yeah, and for all of you, as a teacher, I believe that when you design some learning activity, because based on your teaching experience, you will understand that sometimes students will make mistakes in some point. So I will try to pick up that point and try to design the activity for the students. But the most important part is that for the failure experience, I think that should be a very small experience. Yeah, you cannot let your students to do a project for a whole semester and then they fail to achieve the project and they will struck their confidence. So that is not so good for them. So for me, when I design the failure experience, I think that how to design some small learning activity, that's the most important part. And for the STEM education goal, thanks for the key point. And we also try to survey our STEM teachers' opinions in Taiwan. And for the literature in the world, in some countries, they focus on STEM literacy, or others focus on 21st century skills. And in Taiwan, we focus on not just STEM literacy or STEM skill, we try to develop their interdisciplinary problem-solving skill. That's because when we try to ask our students to finish a project or solve a problem, and we have a team from science, technology, engineer, and mathematics, and we find out that we all have different problem-solving process. So our students don't know how to, when they try to solve a complex problems, they don't know how to use their science skills or technology skill. They don't know when do they need to use the skill. So, and when we try to conduct a systematic literary review, we find out that the common key point is problem solving. So in different fields, we all mentioned about the importance of problem solving. So in our research team, we focus on interdisciplinary problem solving skill. We try to arrange some diverse experience for our students and try to develop their interdisciplinary problem solving skill. They will understand that when they solve some problems, when do they need to use some maybe science knowledge or skills or mathematics knowledge and skills. So I think for us in Taiwan right now, at least for our STEM research team, we think that this skill is very important. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Song, to switch the speakers orders, would you mind adding throwing some questions to Dr. Matsuura, please?
네, 저희 학교에서도 지금 교사 교육 과정을 되게 중시 여기고 있거든요. 그래서 티칭 컴패스라고 OECD에서 지금 발표한 내용을 기반으로 지금 학교 자율 시간부터 해서 여러 가지 교육 과정을 도입하려고 하는데 교수님 말씀하신 내용 중에서 교사와 연구자의 협력 과정 중에 우리가 어떻게 지원할까에 대한 내용을 좀 더 상세히 듣고 싶다는 생각을 했어요. 그래서 교사들 간의 교육 과정을 편성하는 기준이 차이가 많이 나고 그것에 따라서 학생들이 받아들인 게 크게 차이가 있다고 했는데 어떻게 이 부분을 보완을 하고 있는지 일본 교육 과정에 대해서 좀 궁금합니다.
Okay, thank you for the question. So, in Japanese case, of course, detail depends on in each school situation. For example, in my case, basically, before discuss about the STEM or integrate teaching or learning, so we have a connection to the schools to attend. We call lesson study in Japanese 授業研究. So this is a basic line because why we can make reliability to each other. And then next step when some school try to create a new curriculum and so on. So in my case, For example, in the STEM education, this content is very complex. So it is difficult to make a clear point. What do you want to teach, or what is important point in your curriculum? So in my case, so I just focus to the reasoning, because why we can use in each subject not only science but also math or physical science and so on. But probably so some school teacher not familiar to the reasoning, so I need to explain the meaning of the reasoning, induction and deduction and abduction and so on. But when the understanding of the meaning of the reasoning, a teacher can create their own ability to build their own curriculum. That meaning, that point is very important, I think, because why they made their own curriculum to develop, to teach their students. So one important point is please focus to the concrete purpose. If we want to develop the knowledge, please follow this. In my case, I try to focus the skill, that meaning reasoning. So just focus to only reasoning. And what can they do in each contents to develop the reasoning? Just only focus this point, not scattered. So this is a difficult road, but this is an important point, I think. Thank you.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Ms. Song, can I offer one important information to you? When I review one important paper, it analyzed the current teacher professional development workshop. And the most important factors to develop STEM teachers' ability is that you need to design a series of professional development workshop over 80 hours. So that's the main theory for me to help the new Taipei City or Taipei City to develop their STEM teacher training program. So if you want to develop your STEM teachers' ability, I think that more than 80 hours is a very important factor. Yeah, that's just for your reference. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Looks like we're reaching towards the end of the small break session. So I would like to defer to the audience if there is any one quick question from the audience could raise.
So I think there is no further questions, but I'd like to hand over the questions to you because you're from the engineering, the major. Because two speakers emphasize the deep insight, the learning deeper rather than work a lot. And so I think in that sense, those two speakers are pretty much the overlapped point. Can you, the comments, any?
Yeah, so one of the things I find really interesting is I'm involved in, I have my background, education background in engineering, and I've been struggling to, make some conversion from mathematics, into some engineering work. And then, with my current work in the healthcare domain, I find there has to be another conversion to make the cross-disciplinary type of research to work. So I think, a lot of education activity can be defined, to kind of steer those problem solution, like, to solve, better solve, like, complex problems. So I was wondering, like, how you look at the problem, how you identify the problem for education purpose, and then how you can bring that back into some curriculum. So that was some of the fundamental and also open questions. But I just appreciate the insight that you're bringing to the topic, today. So that made me a lot to think about those, ponder upon that issue.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 이것으로서 두 번째 패널 디스커션을 마치도록 하겠습니다. 이제 so please step down to the stage. Okay.